country for ministry. And we saw headlines when we got back in an area of a supermarket where we saw some headlines saying that the day after we had prayed at Centerpoint, they uncovered a terrorist plot to blow it up. So that was really, we were really blessed that we had an opportunity to pray for the safety of the Australian people and for the touch of God on the lives from Centerpoint all around the world. So we covered the globe all around the world. And I know when we were closing our last program, Karen was just starting to tell us about that lovely couple that we saw in Bathurst, who were so depressed and despondent. And they had come by invitation. Remember, I think it was that Fireball March who had invited them to come that night. And, you know, how important it is for an invitation, isn't it? That simple invitation. You know, how many times we've invited someone and maybe not even expect them to come, and the next thing you know, they're really happy that someone cares about them, cares enough to invite someone. So sometimes just getting over that initial fear of rejection, maybe, you know, to ask someone, you know, to come along to a healing service. Oh, it reminds me of another story which I have to just tell very briefly of the night it was pouring rain. And I was on my way to a healing service in Port Jefferson, and I was on my own in the car, and the lady honked her horn at the light and rolled down her window and had to reach over. I didn't have electronic windows. I had to reach over to get, and she wanted to know how to get to a certain place in Port Jefferson, so I told her just how to get there. But at the traffic light, I saw she turned left and she was going westbound, but she should have been going northbound. So I started to chase her. And I want to tell you, that young woman was going pretty quickly. That did turn into pretty much a chase. And I was just saying, I was flashing my lights and I was saying, Lord, I'm just going to have to let her go because I'm not going to get into a car accident over this. And I think she must have thought it was a police car. So she pulled over, and I told her, I got out of the car and I said, you know, you're going the wrong direction. You need to be going north. But I said, I'm going that way, so just follow me. So we turned around and she followed me. And then I turned off. I told her, when I make a left, you go straight. That'll get you where you're going. But she didn't. She followed me when I made a left. So once again, I get out into the pouring rain, and it was pouring rain that night. And I said, no, you're supposed to be going that direction. And she said, well, you said you're going to a church. What's going on at the church? She said, is there going to be an AA meeting at the church? I said, well, actually, it's going to be a healing service. She said, well, is it okay if I come?
Wow.
I said, sure, come along. So she did. She came along that night. So you never know how far God will go to pursue you to get you into the healing service. But sometimes it's just a simple invitation, you know, so that God calls us to be an invitational people. So all that by way of saying how wonderful that Fireball March invited
and that Fireball March at the end of us praying with that couple.
Yes,
right. You know, we said, you know, now Morris, this is the foundation, the groundwork is set, these folks are ripe, you know, they need to learn more. And she said, next week the prayer meeting's at your house. So she was bringing the whole prayer meeting to their house.
That's
so
right.
their hope level.
That's love, you know,
that's
that is really love. That's not being in something to serve yourself, but for love. And she is really a woman of love. So we know that, you know, that their hope, you know, we talk about faith comes by hearing. They were hearing, their hope was lifted up, and they had really received. And I know Kevin's eager to tell a story.
There's not more, there's something left of this story.
Yes, I still want to tell something of that story myself.
I'm just thinking of later on.
Yeah.
You witnessed the wife praying for her husband.
That's right.
She laid her hands in his leg. She had seen
Right.
how God was working, and she wanted to continue
Right.
that work in her
Right.
husband.
Because after they had come with so much despair that we really even felt like we couldn't even talk to them about the baptism of the Holy Spirit and the power of God moving through them. How can you talk to someone in total despair? But as they heard the testimonies, and the first thing was his nerves had been cut, he'd had surgery in the back of his neck, he'd had a fall, it was trauma after trauma. So the first thing was we prayed, and he saw his legs start to move. And his wife sat there and saw his legs move, and he felt a relief in his hip. And when that happened, you saw the glimmer change in the eye. Something started to come to life that was totally dead before. And they were people of faith, but they had been in so much trauma for so long. And then we prayed for the healing of his neck, and he started to be able to rotate his neck as he had not been able to do before. And then the testimonies coming forward, you could see they were really now believing that this is real. And then